brother, Reverend Dr. Cordy Tyndall, Vivian. Before I start this address, Brother CT was 95 years young. What I'm about to share, I had a lot of special moments with Dr. CT, but one in particular that didn't happen here in Atlanta, happened in Manhattan, Times Square. Before I get into that, again, Reverend CT was 95 years young when he transitioned to be amongst the ancestors. Folks, who's going to pick up the torch? If you wasn't already considering that, thinking of that, then you damn sure aren't even eligible for that conversation. I love Brother CT. Man, I love Brother CT. Again, as I explained in the tribute to Congressman Lewis, I didn't come up through the church or, I love Brother CT for words of inspiration and knowledge and wisdom and courage and foresight and just everything the brother was able to pour into me. Some people, man, like Brother CT, their spirit is gargantuan. It's magnetic. It's an elixir, if needed. Hell, if it's an elixir. It reminds me, and I'm gonna tell it like it is. When I was at Point for NAN here in Atlanta, we organized one of the most beautiful tributes called Living Legends. And I gotta admit, it was during the time when I had come back to NAN after leaving and come back, and members were engaging in agent provocateur-ish tactics that led to my suspension and then ultimately me leaving NAN. During that chaotic period, there was only a handful of chapter members that were truly still about the people. The others had fallen victim to this dissension and these tactics. Shout out to the missus, who was point person at organizing the Living Legends dinner at Pascal's restaurant. The honorees were Dr. Amelia Boynton, who is since transitioned to the ancestors. Reverend Dr. Joseph Lowry, who has since transitioned to the ancestors. Reverend CT Vivian, who is now transitioned to the ancestors. The other two are dear close comrades and friends, Dr. Durley and Dr. Beasley. Those were our honorees that I purposely selected, wanting to give them their flowers while they're here. Several members I can remember, Leonard Jones, Christopher Oates, Helen Cummings, what up, Mary Pat, Mercedes Benz, Yolanda Chancellor, Jolene Gilliam. Forgive me if I do not mention your name. Concrete circle during all this chaos. Why am I saying this? Because National came in, Reverend Sharpton and National came in, swooped in, took it over. As the soldier that I was, the loyal soldier, I took a back seat, even though National had nothing to do with the planning and the organizing. Wanted to give them their flowers while they were here. It's one of my memories about CT. Witty, humorous. Did I say witty? Intelligent. A story that I want to share with you guys, man. Around 7 years or so ago, shortly after that dinner here in Atlanta, National Action Network had a convention that they have every year in Manhattan. Reverend CT was one of the keynotes. I just happened to be scrolling through the lobby, dead off in the middle of Times Square, busy. And who do I see standing in line, kind of looking around, was late 80s, either 88 or 89, Dr. C.T. Vivian, by himself. It infuriated me, to be quite honest. Why in the hell is this leader of his senior years standing in this long ass line out here in New York? Hell no. What did I do? What's up, Reverend CT? Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Brother Marcus? I said, CT, man, stand off to the side, please, sir. Matter of fact, take a seat. Let me get your credentials and get your room and the whole nine. I shouldn't have had to do that for a man of his stature. Got all his credentials for the conference, got his room, everything, and then carried CT's bags, up to his room. I promise you, literally 3 hours later, I emerged from his room, brain blown. CT, who was getting in that day for tomorrow, allowed me the opportunity to sit with him. I even asked Brother CT, can I record it? Audio. He said yes. I sat there for 3 hours plus with the man. After many experiences, right in the smack dab middle of Manhattan, New York, Times Square. And that man walked me from his birth to at that point in time where we were sitting. In the ins and outs of SCLC, Brother Martin Luther King Jr., Reverend Orange, Abernathy, Lowry. Man. And see, CT, I'll tell you, almost verbatim what he said to me. You see, Brother Marcus, see, when you speak, right, you don't mind upsetting the people, right? But when you step out there like that, you got to be able to take the repercussions, right? You see, because you got to take such a cool delivery. I come from a family of jazz musicians, and he just reminded me of a brother on the mic that was just scatting like an Al Jarreau, but a dead serious brother. A brother that took the back seat to many in that clique when he damn sure didn't have to. A brother whose delivery and passion and knowledge far outweighed certain folks he took a back seat to. His humbleness. Oh, man. I will never forget moments with CT, but specifically in that Manhattan Times Square hotel room. The 3+ hours that I sat down with the man. And National Action Network conventions are large. Everybody of status is there. Every high-profile family and attorney is there. Every high-profile politician on a national level is there. Every national leader is there. I swear to you on my spirit, them 3 hours with CT far outweighed any conference that I've attended, let alone that one. The fact that I was able to spot him, just ain't nothing happenstance, when I was walking through that lobby and assist that giant at such an elder age of 80. What the hell is he doing in a Manhattan lobby for a conference and not having an assistant? I took that fucking responsibility on, and rightfully so. And it turned out to be one of my greatest memories. Do you understand the knowledge that I have and the jewel that I have? Oh, man. So, man, we salute Brother CT. And the way he would talk to you, right? that real kind of mellow voice, right? But then he would spit nothing but hot fire and potency on what you need to do to achieve your goals as a community and as a people, right? Because that's the main objective, right? Brother CT, honored, man, beyond honored. We in a changing of the guard era while we're also in a modern day reconstruction era while facing a weaponized virus in the name of a pandemic. Man, these are some unique times. Soldiers who deserve nationwide celebrations of their home going or home returning service now are reduced to occupancy of 50 individuals because of fucking COVID-19. I know we can redo this, but straight love CT Vivian, man. A real cat that didn't sit down. Hell, it's at around 93. Hell, the last time I publicly spoke about CT was when I was upset with either Fox 5 or WSB when Dr. Lowry passed. And they interviewed CT, and he wasn't right then. And I thought that was how disrespectful. But about 6-7 months prior to that, hell, CT, could be found as a panelist. The man was around 93 and still hadn't sat down. So those who love that brother and who know him much longer than I have, this is just in my short amount of time. I've been out here, like I said, almost 15. I was probably about 11 to 12 really knowing CT. But he pulled me to the side because he knew I didn't come by way of the church. He knew I didn't come by way of being stamped through an organization. According to Brother CT, he loved the truth that I spit unapologetically and told me never stop doing it. There's real cats like that in the game, man. Didn't take political office, but I got more respect for Reverend CT Vivian, Reverend Dr. CT Vivian than I have for most. CT lives right in here, Chief, and that's for me. So I know what it is for some of you that's been knowing the man. Like Dr. Durley, who I spoke to yesterday, thick as thieves with CT, been knowing him 60 years. Not much more to say about that, man. CT lives right here. Each, reach, teach. Peace.